You're just one shipper away from a new car. You're just one shipper away from a new house, believe it or not. You're just one shipper away from your dream vacation to Greece or Italy or England or South America, wherever you dream to go. And you're just one shipper away from writing a check to pay for your kids' college education. Can you imagine that? So listen, if I've gotten your attention, I hope so. And if not, feel free to click away. But I'm going to be going over what I call my one shipper away blueprint. That's what I'm going to share with you today. And here it is right here. If you stick around to the end, you're actually going to get a link where you can download this for free, absolutely free. Okay. So stick around to the end for the download. So now I want to share with you this concept of what I call the one shipper away blueprint. But before I dive into that, I want you to understand, here's the coolest part about being a freight broker or a freight agent. If you want to earn 6 figures from home doing either one of those jobs, you don't need hundreds of customers. Like if you were a real estate agent or an insurance agent, or, if you had a pizza parlor, or if you had another restaurant, or if you were a software company, right? In those businesses, you need thousands of customers in order to generate a significant income. But the reality is, as a freight broker, you only need 5 to 10 active shippers, small to medium-sized shippers, in order to earn 6 figures per year in profit, okay? So that's the importance of you understanding that you're just one shipper away. Now, some of you are probably sitting here right now and you haven't even gotten your first shipper. And I'm excited for you because this information is going to help move the needle for you to get that first shipper and start generating profit. Some of you have got a few shippers, but for whatever reason, you've kind of fallen into a rut and you still haven't quite hit that 6-figure mark. This training is going to help you. So I want you to lean in and listen carefully because I have 7 points, 7 concepts that I want to share with you. Okay. All right. Number 1, you have to niche down. You've heard me say it before. Okay. Riches are in niches. All right. It is very, very hard to boil the ocean, right? That's an expression. Visualize that. Try to boil the ocean. It'd be impossible. But then take a pot of water and it only takes minutes, right? So that's the key that I want you to understand. It's very important that you niche down as a freight broker or a freight agent. Okay, I've had a lot of debates with people about this. I promise you, the reason why I was able to do over $200 million as a freight broker is I started by niching down, all right? Number 2, position yourself as an expert in your niche. Okay, so listen, this is important. But Dennis, I'm not an expert. Well, I understand that. Nobody's an expert when they first started, but you have to position yourself in and around that niche as an expert. So I'm going to give you a few ways to do that. Number 1, you have to brand yourself to that niche. That includes your LinkedIn profile. That includes your website. You should be focused on talking specifically to that niche. If your niche is the steel industry or the produce industry or the heavy haul industry, whatever niche you choose, you have to brand yourself to that niche, okay? You should be branding yourself to that niche with your LinkedIn content, your email signature, your business card. Those are some other examples of areas that you need to brand yourself to that niche. You do not want to be a generalist, right? Number 3, create awareness. So these are kind of steps, right? All right. So how do you create awareness? Well, it's not just picking up the phone and randomly dialing hundreds of people, right? You have to be different. You've heard me talk about this concept before. Be different, right? You have to develop a compelling sales hook, something that they don't hear every day. If you want to stand out from the crowd, you can't sound like everybody else, all right? And you also should be taking advantage of what I call a multi-channel outreach approach. You're not just using the phone. You're not just using email. You're not just using LinkedIn. You're not just using face-to-face. You're using all of those channels and all of those strategies to do outreach, to create awareness, to start conversations with your niche. All right. So that's part 2. And then the last part here is you should be posting on LinkedIn multiple times per week, if not daily. And you should also be posting relevant content on your website blog. You should have a blog on your website. I'm going to explain to you the reason why posting content there is very important, right? But more importantly is the content that you post should be focused around your niche. You need to focus on topics and concepts and content that's specific to your niche, specific to the people that you want to engage with, all right? So Creating awareness on LinkedIn by doing one post a day is an incredible way to get free advertising. Let's say, for example, 3, 4, 500, 1,000 people see that post, right? And you don't have to go viral in order for that to happen. I promise you. You have just put yourself in front of that many people that could potentially buy from you, right? So it's absolutely free. Posting on LinkedIn daily or at least multiple times a week is important. And it's a great way. You've heard students of mine, you heard my story, who have generated millions of dollars in revenue from shippers that they got without cold calling and just using LinkedIn alone. Now, I'm not telling you that that's necessarily what you should do, but LinkedIn should be a part of your program. Now, why do you need to post to your blog? Dennis, it's almost impossible to rank for SEO these days with Google and AI and everything that's going on. And I'm not going to argue with you. But that's not why you want to post on your blog. That's not why you want to write content for your blog. The reason why you want to write content for your website blog is because when you call somebody or you message somebody or you start a dialogue with somebody, one of the first things they're going to do is go to Google and look for your website. And if they see your website and you make a good first impression, they may actually look at your blog. They may actually read your content. And if you've positioned yourself as an expert and a thought leader and someone that knows what they're talking about, you've just built additional trust, okay? Again, there's this fear-trust ratio that we have to shift during that sales process, okay? So number 4, find a need. This is one thing. Lean in very carefully. Lean in, listen. I'm about to share something you with that it should be an epiphany to you. If there's no need, there's no sale. Listen, isn't it? It's crazy, right? If there is no need, there is no sale. Stop trying to sell to people who do not have a need. Focus on finding people who have a need and then serving them. That should be your epiphany. Okay? You have to find something within your niche and within the companies and the contacts within your niche in order to really truly go through the sales process. No need, no sale, okay? After you find the need, you have to ask good questions and listen. Zip your lip and listen, okay? All right, so number 5, offer your solution. Here's where a lot of people get it wrong. They think that they have to be the cheapest, and that's not true at all. Do not focus exclusively on price. Of course, price is a part of the value proposition, but it's not the only part. Don't try to be the cheapest. It's a surefire way to go broke and to fail as in your business, all right? The next part is help them, the prospect, understand the real value of bad service. Every shipper has experienced late deliveries, late pickups, and issues, during the journey of their freight, during the supply chain, right? But those aren't the real problems. Those aren't the real cost of bad service. Let me ask you this question. If the shipping manager, logistics manager caused a problem, or one of the providers caused a problem, forced one of your customers to go somewhere else to service their business, what would be the impact on that company? What would be the impact on that shipping manager? So ultimately, what I'm trying to explain to you is if your customer loses a major customer because of logistics and supply chain issues, what's the cost to them? If it's $1 million a year shipper or $1 million a year customer to your shipper, then that's potentially $1 million a year for the next 5, 10, 15 years. That's the real cost of bad service. And you need to understand that. And you need, more importantly, learn how to convey that. Okay. Number 6, follow up. We've all heard it before. The fortune's in the follow up. And it's 100% true. What you have to do with your follow-up is you have to focus on transitioning the fear that they're feeling about adding you as a new provider, right? Or the conversations that you're having or the fear of buying into trust, all right? The best way to do that I've ever found is to use social proof, use testimonials, use the words of your existing customers to help put your prospects at ease where there's not as much fear and there's more trust. Again, when you start out with that equation and you start talking to a new prospect, there's a lot of fear and very little trust. Your job is to switch that so that now you have more trust than fear. And as soon as you break traction, that's when the real opportunity comes in. That's when you have an opportunity to get your shipper, okay? And whenever possible, after you're touching them with testimonials on a regular basis as a follow-up, you should also, whenever possible, try to get face-to-face with that prospect, right? Try to meet them for breakfast. Try to meet them for lunch. Try to meet them for dinner. Try to meet them at their office. Try to get together with them face to face, and you will be absolutely shocked how quickly you're able to overcome their fear and start building that trust. Okay? That was number 6. And number 7, never quit. Here's why. Yes, you are going to face rejection. And yes, you are going to get hung up on. And yes, you are going to struggle sometimes when it comes to sales. We all have, go through these times, where these ups and downs, right? We all have it as entrepreneurs, and that goes the same for freight brokers and freight agents. But the good news is what I started this out with is the fact is you only need 5 to 10 active shippers as a freight broker or a freight agent. And I'm talking small to medium-sized shippers. I'm not talking about multi-billion-dollar corporations. I'm talking small to medium-sized shippers, 5 to 10 of them in order to earn a 6 or 7-figure income. 6 figures is no problem, right? With 5 to 10 shippers. So the reality is you don't have to go out and get hundreds or thousands of customers. You only need a small handful in order to build a 6-figure income. So that is my 7-part you're just one shipper away blueprint. Now, if you guys want access to this, if you guys want the cheat sheet, here's all you got to do. Here's all you got to do. I actually put a link together for you in advance. Just go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/one shipper, just like it says on the screen. That's all you got to do. You will be able to download this free cheat sheet with the entire lesson that we just went over. So make sure you do that. Hit me up at freightbrokerbootcamp.com/one shipper away.